All right, good morning. Happy Friday to everybody. Looks like we are all set. So let's go ahead and kick it off and see what the market has for us today. So my name is Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. It is July, sorry about that, 2nd, 2021. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so looking at our SPY, we see we had a pretty strong bullish thrust day yesterday. We are making new all-time highs pretty much every single session. And we are in sort of that drift to the upside where currently we haven't seen any sort of selling pressure quite yet. But the strength of the market has been somewhat questionable up until yesterday. We saw the market just sort of putting in low range days. We weren't seeing a ton of conviction to the upside. And we were looking for maybe the first session of July to give us a little bit more indication as to maybe a short-term directional bias, along with how much strength does the market want to facilitate into that bias. You know, are we looking at all sectors green, certain sectors pushing us higher, or once again, that mixed bag of maybe strength in tech and weakness in financials? You know, the opposite could have occurred. We were unsure which way to go. And with yesterday's price action, we did see a couple of standout areas. First and foremost, we did see a strong open in energy. And that was facilitated by crude hitting roughly $76 a barrel yesterday. We also have some continuation strength in natural gas, although it is consolidating at this time. And while that marketplace did open quite strong with a gap up, we can see that the follow through was a little bit lacking. Overall, we're still in sort of a mid trading range in respect to the daily chart. And with energy, we can look at both XLE and once again XOP, which I've added to this list, both of which are still strong sectors, but depending on their balance and which stocks are held in the ETF, you'll see different performance. Now, there were some standout names in the energy sector that had strong days. DVN, sort of similar to the XLE. We had MRO forming a new relative high, not necessarily all-time high. That has been probably back in time, but we can see we are back to pre sort of, looks like this is 2019 price levels. We have our two sort of conglomerates, Chevron and Exxon. These are going to be those large market cap names in XLE. Those look very similar to the XLE ETF, specific to yesterday, with Exxon close to its previous relative high. And then we have some common trading names in the chat room. Oxy making a new swing high, but not necessarily closing very strong. And I believe Apache, that one was similar to the Devon Energy setup. So some decent strength in energy, more of an intraday play, and we'll obviously see how this plays out. But the overall thesis that we put together yesterday is, yes, crude is strong. Yes, crude has a strong start to July with some OPEC news. There's a catalyst behind this. But we are coming into previous swing high levels. And specifically, one of them, if we draw it back in time, has had a lot of overall respect in the crude markets. So if you're looking at this just purely from a technical setup, you're saying to yourself, crude has had a strong rally. We are back where we've come from. But this is also where the market likes to essentially inflect. And this level is important for crude because it sort of gauges sentiment in this arena. If we're sort of trading below, once again, we're slightly undervalued inside of particular marketplaces. Energy had that sort of recovery back to this area. We can sort of think of this as maybe a very long-term sort of value zone for crude. And we'll see how the market responds to that now that we're back at this price. So something to keep in mind and carry forward, if you're trading energy, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market has to turn around, but it is, based on previous history, unlikely for us to simply go through this level without some sort of push and pull. Usually there's going to be a little bit of a battle here before a decision is made. Some other standouts yesterday. Bring this back to our daily perspective. We had a very strong, concise, and I would say conclusive breakout of healthcare to all-time highs. Now, we've been looking at healthcare for a while. It's been sort of teasing this all-time high, very similar to the SPY and how sort of lackadaisical the price action was. But in the month of July, the first day, this is a strong upper thrust and a breath move away from this chop that we've been in. Now, with healthcare in the short term, we see that it does carry weight with the S&P 500. Excuse me. Stocks like J&J, stocks like UNH, these are not small companies relative to the market cap that they carry. And if there is sort of a sector move into these stocks, then ultimately the SPY will respond in kind because it does carry approximately 13% of the market cap. But as with everything, we have to understand that if this money or this capital flow is coming from other sectors, specifically if we see weakness in tech and or if we see other similarly weighted sectors starting to fade or sell in order to facilitate this move in healthcare, the SPY will not respond in kind. Obviously, there will be general weakness because depending on where this capital is coming from, if it is new money to the market, we should see a lot of sectors sort of moving to the upside, sort of helping the overall trend. And obviously, if we see strong rotation out of sectors that have been strong and now healthcare may be taking the lead, then ultimately that will lead to some weakness short term. And one of the reasons I bring that up is we can shift over to our XLK and we can see that, yes, it's still very strong. It still hasn't really pulled back to any major degree. But with the first of the month, with the sort of second half of the year, we're looking for things to maybe change short term and see if that's setting up for a longer term adjustment of capital. Tech so far has been holding, so we're not really seeing that yet inside of XLK. We're also seeing just the general Qs still near all-time highs. And if we bring it down to a short-term 1 hour, we can see that, yes, the pre-market is also quite strong, but we can look at our volume profile and we can see that the market's actually been accepting some of this value as we've been moving up. So we are extended from our previous area and our point of control back down at 334. This is always going to be a risk factor if something does occur in the market. If we have sort of a fear-based sell, some sort of black swan event, obviously anything that changes the sentiment, this point of control becomes sort of that general target in the case of a quick correction. But as the market has moved higher, we've been putting these more short-term areas of value acceptance as the market has been creeping. So you can see that with respect to these trading ranges. Usually these are 1 to 2 days of balance. market accepts them, moves higher, and then ultimately, as that continues, at some point it gets to be a little bit too far blown. The balance shifts, and then we have to come back and check in at these areas. So it kind of gives us some short-term targets, 350 being sort of a clear psychological along with volume profile target if we do get a correction. And then we have a pretty significant shelf of value that was set over the past couple of days, right around 354. So these areas kind of give you a sense of where markets want to potentially return to on pullbacks. And you can use your daily chart and other dynamic indicators like moving averages to understand where buyers may be waiting for the market to pull back, specifically because a lot of buyers do not like to buy into this type of strength. It's hard to define risk when you have such a strong trend, because the potential risk to the downside can occur quickly and sort of out of nowhere, typically after things have sort of exhausted, the buying climax has occurred and there's an exhaustion of price. So overall, we are seeing how this market plays out. We haven't seen weakness in tech quite yet. And we're also seeing some interesting activity in financials. We talked about financials with their major pullback based on the FOMC discussions and some of the announcements from the Fed. We saw some dollar strength and just some general readjustment of risk with regards to interest rates, bond markets, a lot of different higher level asset classes with capital moving in and out. And now we are seeing financials pulling back above with a strong dead cat bounce. We certainly talked about that. That has pretty much played itself out at this time. And now we are starting to respect the 50-period moving average, looking to potentially get back above. This is that key concept where markets in past history have respected this area, maybe not so much on the financials, given that they've been one of our stronger candidates, but the overall SPY does like to respect this moving average. And what we're looking at here is the first time where we may be getting sort of a crossing of this moving average area. It sort of leads, to that battle perspective of who's actually in control. Is it the bulls? Have they defended this area well enough to basically set a significant low with the volume profile, the volume spike kind of giving us a clue that maybe the selling was over during this sell-off? Or is this going to be some sort of bullish trap setting up for a lower high on the daily and then leading to a collapse of the financials breaking through the significant low that was set? Obviously, it's a little bit harder to gauge in this time frame, but we do like to take advantage of the short-term moves, as we did have a very clear sort of volume spike showing potential capitulation in this market. And then that return, if it does facilitate higher, we're obviously in position for that if it were to occur. And if it does not, if it starts to fall apart, then no harm, no foul. We do like the idea of stopping out if this were to break. That would be sort of a risk mitigation effort based on the technicals. So in this marketplace, we are not really seeing our key sectors with weakness while seeing healthcare breaking higher. We can also look at discretionary showing another strong day yesterday. So lots of sector strength overall. And give me 1 second. Forgetting the last one of significant weight. Yes, XLC. And then finally XLC, which is actually making a new all-time high. And I believe this is 81.57. We actually closed 1 cent above the previous all-time high in regards to this ETF. So if you want to call that a new all-time high close, you can. That's pretty much a double top in the closure. But overall, there's still strength in this market. So what does this all mean? How can we prepare for any sort of correction? We can look at things like expected move, which we talked about briefly last week, the idea that the market did break expected move to the upside after the volatility was quite expansive. So we had about a 90-point expected move in the SPX, and that was last week. That market did break higher, and now we are looking at an expected move that is approximately 50 points from the opening price of Monday's print, along with the fact that the market hasn't quite tested this upper zone, given that we are in a bullish trend. So from the point of view of the option market, the marketplace really hasn't done anything outside of the norm. Volatility has compressed in this week, and it is not necessarily a shortened week, but a holiday week. So the volume has been slightly lower, at least in the first couple of days. But the option market is actually saying this is normal, so long as we don't breach approximately 43.34 to the upside on the SPX, and then obviously our lower target of 42.26. This is sort of a normal week from the option perspective. Now, we talked about last week, the breach that did occur oftentimes will lead to additional breaches. And basically the idea here is that the market is trying to adjust for the volatility of a breach in the previous week, and oftentimes it'll expand even further just so that the risk factors can be capturing the movement of the market. So you can think about 1 week of volatility, maybe the next week starts to come back in, or maybe it starts to expand further. Usually the option market will try and cap that risk by increasing the premiums of option contracts, and ultimately the volatility of that series will expand, because at the money contracts will cost additional premium, and you have to account for that. Otherwise your risk to reward model and your Black-Scholes model kind of falls apart at that point. But we have not seen that yet. We have not seen a breach. We have not seen anything out of the norm. So the market is trending. We have this nice set of parameters to sort of look for, are things starting to get more volatile with regards to expected move? The answer is no so far. And finally, I'll look at something that we haven't looked at quite yet. And this is going to be just a general indicator to kind of get a sense of standard deviation within the market. So before I bring it up, I'll just kind of cover a little bit of the concept. Normally, markets like to print their price, I would say their price ranges within certain parameters. Markets like to essentially have a statistical norm of expected movement and expected range. Whenever the markets get above or below these areas, oftentimes we say things are maybe overbought or oversold. And usually the markets will find their way back into what is often considered the norm. So it's all based around statistical probability. Typically, the reversion to the mean theory sort of gets into play here, where you like to see markets following sort of an average and, oscillating between slightly overbought, slightly oversold. Usually there's some sort of point of control, and this can be a price level, or this can be sort of a dynamic linear regression channel. So as I bring this up, and we'll go ahead and use the SPY, that way we can take off some of these indicators as these can be recovered quite quickly. We can look at a daily chart of the SPY and ask ourselves, has the SPY been within this sort of standard deviation channel for the period of the last couple of years? And so far, based solely on the daily, you can see that this midline, this sort of purplish line, is the sort of midpoint of the first standard deviation channel. You will have sort of the green bands indicating this is when you're hitting sort of the lower range and the upper range of the standard deviation channel. And then yellow and red leading you to 2 times and 3 times. This is often when you're within one standard deviation. This is sort of 67.3, I believe. I forget the percentage, but about 68% of price should belong in this channel most of the time. If you're in 2 standard deviations, you're saying about 95% of the price should exist within here. And oftentimes, if you get to those extremes, you're looking for the market to reverse. You're actually saying you're getting a little too far away from the norm, and you're looking for a correction, not necessarily back to the middle, but maybe back down to sort of that 1 standard deviation high, and then obviously evaluating it from there. Now, from the daily chart perspective, the SPY actually doesn't look as if it's done anything too out of the norm. We've actually been in this channel mid-range for the majority of the past 2 years. We bring it out to 5, we can see that this channel does update, and we can see some amount of respect that is placed on some of these large inflection points in the market. Things like the 2018 sort of Christmas rally and the lows hitting that 1 standard deviation and inflecting quite strongly from it. Marketplace was starting to pull away from the norm, which had been sort of the general guide, and hit this marker, bringing us back into, once again, a normal area of interest. We can also see that during the COVID lows, we actually got a 2 standard deviation move based on 5 years of history. This return back to the norm may be a bit volatile for a lot of us to anticipate, but from a statistical perspective was actually a normal response of the market. Getting us back to the mean obviously took time, obviously had a lot of factors involved with it, both economic, technical, financial, geopolitical, but overall, this perspective kind of gives sense of how far removed we got and how far we've come. We have the election time frame putting us into a more volatile period, but ultimately keeping us within that 1 standard deviation channel. And now, what I want to bring attention to is on this perspective, we are essentially treating this extended 1 deviation range, this upper range, as our norm. And this is why the marketplace has been, in some senses, hard to gauge as to whether or not we have the energy to move higher, or are we looking for that standard deviation pullback and the return to the mean. Obviously, volume profile gives us a sense of what price levels to consider, but this gives us a sense of how far removed we are from statistical norms. And now what I'll do is I'll bring up just a weekly perspective to show, once again, just like the daily, not too much is out of play on the weekly. But as we look into a 2-year and add additional data, we see that same sort of reaction. These COVID lows giving us nice inflection off of a 2 standard deviation range, channel range, this low point in the market, and then stabilization, leading us into essentially a spot of middling above the midpoint of the channel. And then finally, for those who like sort of the long-term perspective, we can see that on the monthly, this is going to be probably the highest time frame we ever would want to consider for this sort of analysis, is ultimately this kind of gives us that long-term perspective. We can see things like the financial crisis lows, hitting a standard deviation one deviation removed and hitting that lower inflection point. We can see things like the COVID lows, not necessarily getting us back down to that point, but ultimately getting near to extended inside of the monthly. And then for perspective, if the low points are significant, then we have to assume that the high points are also going to be significant at some time. And what we've done inside of 2020 and 2021 is a statistical abnormality inside of the monthly perspective of the SPY. You can see here that we've crossed the one standard deviation, something that has not been hit to the low end since the financial crisis. And as we are nearing the two standard deviation, we can see just how quote unquote overextended this market is. Now, obviously our price should be existing within this two standard deviation 95% of the time. But the question then remains, how much more upside do we expect? And do we anticipate inflection to occur based around some of these statistical ranges, these channel linear regression setups? Now, obviously, we are not trying to anticipate a top, but we are looking for a moment in time where the market may have the momentum exhaust itself, have the setups within the sectors, within other risk factors, and potentially even have a catalyst inside of maybe the economic global financial markets to lead the market back down to a statistical norm. Doesn't have to be, once again, not a crash, just a correction. And when you look at it from this perspective, you can see that a target, ultimately, if we were to get such a large correction in the market, could be this first linear regression channel. Obviously, the marketplace has respected it by price over this period of time. We have a lot of value sitting in this area. And as we've trended higher, if there were a correction, oftentimes this trend structure does not lead a lot of balance in the market. So if something like that were to occur, this could be sort of a guide. If you're looking to long-term potentially look for great buying opportunities, and obviously with other research and due diligence involved, this can be a way to sort of short-term look for bottoming and obviously take advantage of that from a trading perspective, but even long-term look for opportunities to get back into the market, assuming that you maybe got out, profit took, whatever it happens to be, maybe saw the writings on the wall and were able to step away from equities, move into less riskier assets. So obviously these things have not materialized quite yet. We are at all-time highs. Market wants to continue moving higher in the short term, but keep these factors in mind. The longer time frame perspective can give you a sense that yes, trend higher, swing highs, moving averages, everything's looking rosy in the markets, but the longer term is giving you a slightly different picture, and just be respectful of it. Allow yourself to be considerate to the fact that the market may want to return to a mean value, and that would lead to much lower prices based on where we are today. So just another way to add to your toolbox, look at the market in a different perspective. For those curious how to set this up, all I've done is add 3 studies for the standard deviation channel, of which there is the 1 standard deviation, the 2, and the 3. And those are marked by the green, yellow, and red channel highs and lows respectively. So With that said, I'm Jared. This is Engineering the Markets. Let's see what this short-term market has to give us. Let's see how much strength we have to get us to these higher targets. And then, as always, be protective of yourself in the case that things start to change. So we're looking to see if that ever does occur. So far, we haven't seen the signals, but the storm could be brewing underneath without us actually seeing the reaction of the market. Always protect your profits, take profits when needed, hit your targets and get out. But from longer term perspectives, there may be some opportunities yet to come. So with that said, I'm Jared, Engineering the Market. Stay tuned for pre-market prep with Carlos and Norm, and we'll talk more next week. So trade safe.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you today? Oh, I cannot hear you. Hold on a sec. Let me see if it's on my end.
No, it's on my end.
Oh, there you go.
I'm doing all right, but you have no audio going to the room.
Oh, yes, that is important. Let's turn that on. Here we go. Okay, can you guys hear me okay in the chat room?
Yep, you're good. Yes, you're
Okay.
good to go.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, excellent. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Let's get to it this morning. Let's talk about what we had yesterday on our list, starting with Neo, guys. Neo was so great. A lot of the stocks that kind of opened up strong sold off pretty nice yesterday. Neo was one of them, guys. So right at the market open, try to get going here. Try to get above this 55.26. That was your high of your pre-market. Could not hold, and just look at the beautiful drop here. Holds on to the 9 moving average. Cannot get above the VWAP. Even here, it tries really hard to get going. It's not able to. This is a great indication of a short. When you see something like this where it tries to get up and slams right back down, and then you can see the beautiful continuation towards the bottom here. So that's pretty nice there. Never looks back, guys. Does test to 20 and then right back down again to the low of the day. So again, just amazing on NEO yesterday. Great continuation, and then flat for the rest of the day there. Not much going on. BBBY, also a great short. Got a couple of things happening here. Opening range breakdown, the 5-minute, beautiful continuation, all the way down to 32 from 35. So that was pretty nice and clean there. Then the rest of the day just kind of chops around. Not a whole lot going on there. Here's X. X just gave you one big drop. Then from there, it just was very choppy. Didn't really give you a whole lot after that. It does try to bounce back, but again, there were so many other stocks that were trading so much better than this one. So I wouldn't give this one much credit there. AMD, guys, was amazing. We had two things on AMD. We had the great drop all the way to 11, right? So this thing opened up, was very weak. You can see the sell-offs happening here time after time, trying to get above the VWAP. It cannot, and it continues to sell down. Then here, actually trades better the second half of the day. Here, it finds the base around 91.80. And is able to finally get going towards the VWAP here. They trade very well in the later parts of the day there. So AMD continues to be in play today. Less volume than what we've seen every morning. So we'll see how that's going to play out. But AMD, again, just has been our good old buddy to keep an eye on. Here is MU as well. We knew MU had earnings. Was it yesterday morning or last night? I forget now.
It was Wednesday after the close, I believe.
Yes, yeah, Wednesday after the close. So then on Thursday morning was very active. We saw great volume on it, as you can see here. And then from there, guys, look at this amazing drop we got on MU. So this was a nice short. I believe Brian took advantage of this. Look at just the continuation you're getting here. Does get a little bit of a bounce here towards the VWAP and then right back down towards the low of the day there. Then again, such a big move. The rest of the day didn't do a whole lot after that. Here's Oxy. Oxy was just, it was just chopped, guys. Not much going on here. I hope this would have traded a little bit better, but it didn't. It was just really all over the place. All right, that is what we had. Space was good too, guys. Space was nice. We've been watching Space. Look at the beautiful drop here. Opening range breakdown does continue. Tries to get above the VWAP. It does. It's not able to get any further than that, and then slams right back down below it. And XPEV was okay here at the drop. Now look at Airbnb. This is why Airbnb is sometimes so difficult to trade. Look at this, how this thing traded yesterday. Did eventually lose the VWAP here after it traded into a kind of a point here, a pegnet, and then it does drop down. But again, it's just very difficult to trade. CCIV, sometimes I don't like this one because of this. Also, is very choppy yesterday compared to everything else we had on the list. And obviously, we cannot go the day without talking about meds in the pre-market. That was very nice. And also, MRIN did get going, guys, later in the day there. So we'll see what we got going on today. All right, guys, with that said, our gappers list this morning, not so much going on. So we got a pretty quiet gappers list. We got a few in the green here, a few in the red. We'll get to it after our market pulse and see what's going on there.
Yeah, brother. We just had biggest data of the week drop. That was unemployment rate and payrolls for June. Came in at 662 for non-farms versus 600,000 estimates, so better than expected. Unemployment rate ticked up from 5 to 5.9. It was 5.8. It was expected to drop to 5.7. I think that probably indicates more people going back to the workforce, which could be a good thing. Would be a good thing, not could be a good thing. So, we'll see. That caused a huge spike in the SPY here just in the last few minutes. We were relatively flat prior to that. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We've spoken about it all week. I think we might have some action at the open. Our gappers list is not very big today. There are a couple of big storylines moving things this morning, but I would anticipate volume dropping off pretty quickly as we get toward the afternoon.
Yep, agree 100% there with you. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's see what we have on our gappers list, starting with, well, first let's remove this here, and we will see what we have on deck. We'll make some rows here, and let's see what's gapping up this morning. Starting with ALEC today, ALEC this morning. They are up 40%, 56 million shares flow, so they're not a low flow stock. Pre-market action looking okay. Again, this stock could be a little interesting. Let's get the daily on here, see what's going on there. Daily, for the most part, I don't see great volume on it, guys, so we need to be careful with this one. I think it can be in play, but I really don't like the daily and the pre-market action. Although we have 600,000 shares traded, I really don't like the way this is trading for the way it's moving. So a possible. Let's see how this turns out as we get closer to that 9:30 open. So LEEC will put us a possible. Emren's been hot, guys. Continues to take off here. Again, they're up 36%. This stock is just on fire. So definitely low flow of the day so far. We'll put that on here. 8.1 million shares traded. It is up 37% and just continues to crush some of these highs. So this is a low flow that might be in play for the next coming days, because when you see a low flow hold here, come back towards its highs, and then doing what it's doing today after 3-4 days of madness, that could be very, very exciting. Here's Space, guys. Space looks good this morning as well, up 20%. It's giving
Huge
some
news.
back. Yeah, it's giving some back already. What we had last night around
Yeah. So they announced that Richard Branson is going to go up, I believe it's July 11th. And so he and Bezos, I believe, is supposed to go up on the 20th, which was announced in May. And then so Branson's trying to show him up a little urination contest, let's call it, to see, which billionaire can get into space first, because frankly, it's not really space.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there, guys. But Space looking really, really good this morning, guys. Up 21%, 5.2 million shares traded. Their daily has been very active over the last week or so. Adding that to my list. Space, there we go. SC this morning, they are up 10%. I do not like the daily on this one. Very light volume. Pre-market action sucks. Yeah, but we'll skip that. Atos today, they are pretty choppy right now. Let's see if it gets better. We'll put it on here. We'll see if it gets any better. But right now, they're not looking great. PRVP, VB, excuse me. I think there is a PRBR, by the way. I think that's another ticker. This one here, guys, not looking good. It is up 2%. Their daily is horrific, as you can see here. I mean, there's just nothing going on here. Very, very choppy. They barely get any volume, sitting around 2 million. There was one day here back in, looks like, what's this, May? Is it May? They had a couple of good days in here with some volume. Outside of that, not looking all that good, so I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing here. We'll skip this one as well. Let's take a look at ARWR. This one here, it is down 21%. At the moment, we are seeing 410,000 shares traded. The float on this is 96 million. But man, this thing is moving, guys. High of the pre-market is 84. Your low right now is already 60, 77. So you got to be very careful with this. For the most part, they don't trade very well. They don't get a whole lot of volume, as you can see down here. A lot of days not getting above that 1.6. Today, obviously, they already have 411. So almost half of what they're doing on a regular basis. Could be interesting. I'm just concerned when stocks look like this, they end up not trading well. So yes, this looks exciting. They were down 21%. We have 412. This thing is moving. You could take little shares and get $2-3 moves fairly easily, hopefully. But they just don't trade well. So I'm going to put it as a possible. Let's see if it can prove me wrong today. But just from history and seeing these type of stocks,
it's some negative trial news. They had to pause a drug trial. So I haven't dug into that too deep, but there definitely is a catalyst.
All right, so that helps. There's a catalyst. Let's see. If not, the entire drop is done already on here on that negative catalyst. We'll see. Let's see what happens. AUUD, man, this thing was so bad when it was in play the last couple of days. Today there are down 6.7 at the moment, 114,000. We need more than that for a low flow stock, so I'm not going to waste my time with this. Right now, Emren is what's going on, guys. This thing is just incredible. Looking very good this morning. If you're trading pre-market, this is the one you want to look at. CERE this morning, they are daily's interesting. We had a nice little pop here from 20 over to 31 after it opened up. Then from there, which has been consolidating, we do have shares for sure. So that could be nice if this thing is starting to lose it and come back down to reality down here. That could be interesting. I'm going to put it as a week possible. We'll see what happens there. BLIN this morning, they are 3.3 down and 440,000. Pre-market actions, okay. It's not great. This is also a low flow stock, so I'm not going to bother with it. We need it to look a lot better than what it is right now. Tau, this is we've been talking about this quite a bit before, guys. It just does not trade very well. So I won't be watching it. It's just not my type of stock. OCGN here. Actually, this was a stock that I think they called us me and you racist, right, Norm? I think it was based on this stock or something.
Tal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of the Chinese companies.
Yeah. All right, OCGN, here we go. What do we have here? OCGN right now down 2.4. Does not look great, guys. I'm not going to bother with this one neither. You know what? This thing had a couple of really good days, and it hasn't done that in the last like 2-3 weeks. So I'm not going to bother with OCGN right now. EDU, also another Chinese education company, just like Tao. Again, they don't trade very well, so we'll skip on this. All right, guys, let's take it to you, Norm. What do you have on your end that you like?
I got two things. Didi,
Yes.
which this one's getting hammered this morning. Unfortunately, no shares for short on my end. And I think this is probably what's hitting Tal as well. We've seen the impact of Chinese regulation and issues with companies and the government really taking out some of those education stocks, which Tal is. Well, this morning they said they're launching an investigation into Didi, and they are forcing them to not have anybody new sign up. So it just seems nuts that I don't understand how their stuff works over there particularly well, so I won't try to get into that too deep. But happy birthday, Thor, in New York City. I won't dive into that too deep, but why would the government wait until 2 days after the IPO over here to just twist that knife into their back? So anyway, on watch for sure. We'll see what happens with it. Like I said, no shares for short, so unfortunately can't trade it in the direction it's going right now. The other one that I have, and thank you for bringing this up. Well, really the EV sector. As we mentioned yesterday, automotive numbers, deliveries come out at the first of the month. Tesla just dropped their numbers, which were a little bit less than expected. And they had news yesterday that I guess somebody of this new Plaid version of their car, the car burst into flames and locked them inside of it.
Ouch.
So that dropped yesterday, I believe. We'll see, but I do know that LI actually reported stronger deliveries than XPEV. So it could be some activity in that space, whether it's the US or the Chinese automakers.
Yep, absolutely. We'll put some of these on here. Again, NIO yesterday was incredible, guys. Today they don't have the same volume as it did in the pre-market, but it was a great short. I would like to watch them today for a continuation as well. And XPEV was good too, guys. Nice drop if you saw the show earlier. Again, look how this thing traded here. Very, very nice as well. So I think both of these are worth having on here. So I put some in our possibles list, some in our main list. We'll fine tune and see which one we're going to watch. But they have been very, very active the last couple of weeks as well. Thor, so is today your birthday, Thor? Happy birthday, my friend. So let's give a big thumbs up for Thor there. He's celebrating his birthday here in New York City. So yeah, man, happy birthday. Looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow. So that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Okay, guys, let's go to the room, see what we have in here. Let's start with, we'll see. Let's see if I can get J&J from Bruno. Let's see what we got there. J&J, right now, I don't think they're really in play. I see 20,000 shares being traded so far. They're up slightly. I just don't see them in play. This stock, guys, is on the worst.
Yeah, it's tough. These massive companies are not fun to trade usually.
Yeah, they're not, and if they don't have a catalyst,
there's no volume, no gap. I'm curious what made somebody pick that.
Yeah, so unless you know something, Bruno, share it, but I don't think there's anything going on there. PLTR does have some volume here, 411,000. Did have a rough time yesterday. We're back to an area of consolidation here, of resistance at least. You can see that on there. That could become support. Bouncing off a little bit here, trying to stay in the green, up 1% almost. Might be worth watching. And we all know the issue with PLTR. It can be difficult for it to trade well, even when it's putting up good numbers in the pre-market. We'll see if that is going to change today. Heading down, we have, here it is, Wish. Let's take a look at Wish this morning. They are down 1.8 right now, almost 2%, 1.2 million shares traded. So again, Wish can push some volume around very easily. Are they going to trade well after that bell rings. So yesterday they did have a nice drop here. I won't give them too much credit because again, we got so many things that traded like this: XPEF, Neo, MU, AMD. It's just so many other great stocks that drop like this. So we'll have to see, guys. It's a hit and miss, really. I mean, I don't give their volume too much credit. Um, I don't know. I'm not gonna add it for now, James. I think if it gets better, I like that one for a scanner hit. Just make sure it's actually moving and doing something and not just pushing volume around. CCL this morning, I don't think it's really in play. They have 306,000 shares traded. They look like they're entering some kind of consolidation here, guys. You know, you got this big drop that happened over the last month or so. American Airlines and a lot of travel companies have this same drop here. I think they're just moving sideways now, figuring out what is going to be the next move for them. American Airlines, same situation, guys, just dropping down here and just figuring out what's next. I don't see incredible volume this morning. I don't think there's a catalyst out there. So I'll put them on hold for now. If they get better, we can, you know, shoot it back out to us. Workhorse, no volume, guys. 70,000 is not a lot for Workhorse. These guys trade a whole lot of volume. They had a big drop yesterday, like many stocks did. So I don't see anything good on Workhorse this morning. AMD, yes, I will watch AMD. I think AMD is just insane. It's been trading very, very well. We'll definitely watch that. Even yesterday, after a nice drop off, it manages to recover and somewhat end towards this high here. Today we're up almost 0.5%, trying to stay up, you know, close as 94. The stock has been strong. Let's see if it can pull off some magic today on a Friday. Here's Apple this morning. Apple looks good, guys. Up almost 0.5%. I do like their daily, and I also like their volume. So I will add Apple this morning. Let's see what we got going on there. Heading down. Apple, AMC. Yeah, AMC is another one that we can put on. How did I do yesterday? I did not watch AMC yesterday. Also sold off pretty nice here. So AMC, not as much volume. We're seeing the volume kind of die down a little bit as we continue in this, just stuck with this consolidation. But you can see the range getting tighter now. As the volume dies down, you're not seeing you know, big moves in here as you were before. So again, AMC is a stock that you need heavy volume, guys. If that doesn't happen, we might have a difficult time trading this one. Maybe a possible, just to keep a close eye on it. But it's slowly kind of dying here. I'm not saying it's done. I think we're going to be trading AMC for a very long time if our Wall Street best friends continue to play around with it. I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. All right, heading down. What else do we have, guys? AMC. Yep, we got that one already. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is slamming up against the support area, so maybe a breakdown towards the bottom. I see that. We'll have to see how that plays out. All right, what else we have? Okay, let's stop here. Let's take it over to our YouTube chat, and let's see here. Let's put this live. Okay, perfect. So we have NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA this morning. NVIDIA right now, wow, 816. This thing is just incredible. Sitting what at 500 just 2 months ago. Even lower than that. I mean, just wow, 816 right now. Yeah, NVIDIA is in play, guys. Again, it gets a little tough up here as it's trying to break out of some of these levels. So we'll have to see how that goes there. All right, Jared coming in with the $20 bomb for Happy Birthday Thor, God of Thunder, and Mod like no other. Let's show him some love today.
Jared, I'll cover really, a drink in New York City.
Yes. Now, is Jarad coming to New York?
I don't believe so. But I don't know,
I haven't
for sure.
I haven't met Jarad in person. A few moderators we haven't met. Yeah, I'm going to meet Thor for the first time in person. So that's with Kyle as well. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Thank you, Jarad. Appreciate that. I'm sure we appreciate that message there, and Thor does as well. All right,
they're asking where they can get the DAS Trader shirt, and I've got a couple of them. You've got a couple of them. Unfortunately, in order to get that shirt, you have to present for DAS Trader at a conference in New York.
Yeah, that's how we got these. We didn't buy them or anything like that. It was the conference we were in. But they're a really nice shirt. I like these a lot. You know, to represent a company that you actually use and you know helps you trade is pretty dope. But if, you know, we'll see if we can find out how to get them. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
All right. With that
might
said,
know somebody.
Yeah, we might know somebody. Maybe we can get some higher shirts like this one. Not higher. Bearable Trader shirt like this one, and give it to you guys. Staff. Let's see. Staff here. Staff. What do we have here? Staff. Staff is just gapping up here. 40%. 6.7 million shares traded. What's the float on this? Staff, what are we looking at? 35. So it's not a low flow stock. It's active, guys. It is pushing stuff. It is pushing some volume around here. Again, these lower price stocks, I want to be very careful with. We'll put it on here. It is active. I can't deny that. Let's see. Let's see how it's going to trade. Let's take a look yesterday. Yesterday moved between $3 and $4, and it was not pretty. I mean, this was not clean. I mean, you got an initial pop maybe for a quick scalp. Outside of that, the volume is only 20 million, which is not bad, but no, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see if it gets better.
Somebody say I'm not familiar with this ticker, and I have not
Yeah.
looked at it this morning. That's a reverse stock split, dude. So that's trash.
That's not gonna be good.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you for looking into that, man. Appreciate you for that. Yeah, something's funking about that one. Just doesn't look great. All right, what else we got? We got a couple of more minutes. Emrin, yes, Emrin is on here. Sorry, let me bring this up. It got moved down as we're adding tickers, but Emrin is definitely in play. I start 35%, 10 million shares traded. Shout out to everybody that was holding this at $1.50, $1.80. Hopefully you're still in it with some to partial out on, so that's pretty good. PLTR we do have on here. Again, not a big fan with how choppy it could be at times. Emrin, we do have what is this? D nut. What is this?
It's Krispy Kreme.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I always say the name wrong, so I'm just gonna let you say it because you did it fine.
Oh, well, Krispy Kreme? You said it right. That's not it?
No, I don't say the name of the ticker right. You said it perfectly.
Gotcha. It's funny. They just opened one around here in Route 4 if you're from Jersey. It just opened one up there. I think it's the first one around anywhere in Jersey. I don't know. But it's madness. There's traffic everywhere now going to Route 4 west just because of this thing opening up here. So pretty
donut shop.
Oh, dude.
Tat. Check out Tat. Some people are calling it out. Yep, Anton got it. I accidentally put an S after the first letter of that every time. I don't know what the deal is.
I see.
So check out TAT, T-A-T-T. It just got rampant.
T-A-T-T. Let's take a look here.
It's not hitting our scanners, I'm guessing, because of our ATR.
This is recent IPO. I'm only showing one daily. Is that correct here? Is that right?
No, there's something funky with your feed. I would try to go to another ticker and then come back to it because it's not. I didn't think it was.
Let's go back to D nut and then we'll come back to Tad. Just trying to help you be able to pronounce that there. Oh, there we go. Okay, now for some reason now it's loading.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, this is definitely up and running today. 3.2 million shares float. Let's add that on right on here, guys. Here we go. Okay, perfect. You think about it, like who comes up with these ticker names, right? You think that you have someone say, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that,
Which one?
D nut, right? Maybe we shouldn't do that. Let's try something else.
Well, this is the second time they've been public. They were smart enough the first time not to use that ticker. But for whatever reason, current leadership didn't realize the issues there. It used to be KKE until they went private like 5 years ago.
Very, very nice.
I would, Jazz, but I try to keep it family friendly. That's why I have not referred to it by my nickname. It's the one ticker I know of that has a nickname I actually can't use here.
All right, guys. I think we have a pretty decent list. I see a few more coming up here. JKS. Let's see what that is doing. We know this one could be erratic at times. Right now, not a whole lot of volume, guys. So I don't think it's really in play. We'll skip on that one. I see a few in our chat here. Nike. Nike had a great pop a couple of weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, 2 trading weeks ago. Has not done much after that. It's been okay there. Great
really
day yesterday.
Bad ticker to trade though. Usually.
Yeah. It's not great.
Yeah. Typical noisy garbage.
Yeah, I will stay away from it. You're gonna get some good here and there. You get some good action, but it's not typically you're gonna catch something like that. Can we quickly explain how we delete tickers on your watch list? Well, I can't do it now because we're that I don't want to delete my list. But you could hold shift. You hold shift and just come all the way up
delete.
and hit delete. Right. That's the way you would do it.
Don't delete your watch list. I don't want to do
I'm
this
being very
over.
careful. That's why I stopped talking. I'm like, make sure I don't multitask while doing this. It's like when you learn how to parallel park, you turn off the radio and just kind of focus. I just did that there. All right, guys, let's get over to our community announcements. We'll come back and fine tune this list on this.
All right, guys. Eamon's webinar earlier this week is up for learning from his best and worst trades. He's also going to be presenting next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, for the Success webinar next week. Then Mike's webinar from Wednesday is posted as well. Next week, we'll have Dr. Kenneth Reed talking about the wisdom of the late, great Mark Douglas. That'll be 8 p.m. on Wednesday. And if you want to participate in the member trade of the day, trade of the week, take a screenshot of your best trade of the day and post it on Twitter with entries and exits, of course. And then in commentary, you can give about the trade. Tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. We will pick a winner for each day and announce it in the afternoon on Twitter and in the room. And then over the weekend, the team will vote on all those trades of the day for the trade of the week, which will be announced on, well, usually Monday, but I guess Tuesday for next week. Since Monday is a holiday, I just want to keep anybody from getting the dunce cap emailing Monday morning. Oh, the room, I can't get into the room. Room won't be here. Market's closed Monday. It always happens. Hell, we've had people on the mod team. Hey, why can't I, because the market's not open today. Anyway, once again, happy birthday, Thor. There's a meetup to celebrate his 40th birthday. That is tomorrow, New York City. Please check the forums and RSVP in the calendar there. All the info is on the screen. And while it was too late to take this down, apparently the Lima, Peru meetup has been pulled because I think only one person was going to go. We don't have a ton of traders in Peru. And so, yeah, it makes sense. All right. If you're watching on YouTube and you'd like to try out the chat, you can use promo code PREMARKET24 to get a week in the room. That is 7 calendar days, 5 trading days, unless there's a market holiday like Monday. So if you want to do this, I would suggest waiting till Tuesday. That way you don't waste a trading day. It also gives you access to the onboarding classes that are typically every Monday night live. I think you're holding those on Tuesday before the Success webinars, if I'm correct, 6 p.m. Eastern. Is that right?
Yes, 6 p.m.
Cool.
No, 7 p.m. Because then right after that, we have the 8 p.m. Success webinar.
Okay.
Oh,
sounds
no,
good.
sorry. No, correction.
It's 6 p.m. because it's 2 hours, right? With you and Kyle? Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
All right. So 6 p.m. for that live stuff. If you're doing the trial or if you're newer or you just want to go see Carlos and Kyle and Mike. All right. And then if you can still use the promo code Fireworks40 to get 40% off the annual elite membership to celebrate 4th of July.
All right. Excellent, guys. Let's get to it. All right. What do we have here? Let's jump into our watch list. Let's fine tune this. Let's start here.
We got 530. We haven't begged for likes yet this morning. So if you guys would be kind enough on YouTube, we've got 531 people watching right now. And, we've only got 149 likes. So if you would be kind enough to hit that button, it really helps us.
Excellent. We have I have one of my old co-workers here. We worked with this guy 10 years. He's watching the show. He texts me, yo, it's my guy Thor's birthday. Happy birthday, Thor. So more shout outs for Thor, man. Happy birthday. Cannot wait to celebrate with you tomorrow. All right, guys, here is Space. Space at the moment is looking really good. I like this one. We'll keep that one on there. Tesla is starting to move, starting to push some volume around. I like the fact that we're stuck within this consolidation. Hopefully we can break out of this today with some good trading. LI at the moment looking very active. I normally do not like this one as much as the other ones, but this one seems to look pretty decent today. NEO is starting to look nice now. There you go. I like NEO today. Definitely going to keep an eye on that one. AMD, we got to have AMD on our list. Just been trading incredible, looking very strong again today. Sell-off yesterday. That did not hold it down. It did come back up here and is looking to push even higher, hopefully. And Apple also looking very strong this morning. Great volume, guys, 845. So we got a pretty good list here. Secondary list, let's take a quick look here. AMC, I think is worth keeping on here. PLTR, I like PLTR the way it's moving now. XPEF, all right, we cannot watch all these. Let's see if we could take off. DD could be interesting. Atos, I don't like this one. Let's just get rid of this one. Here we go. ALEC, Could be interesting. ARWR. I'm gonna remove this one, guys. Just we need space. I don't think it doesn't look great. CERE this morning up down 5.2. We do have shares for sure. Could be interesting. We got two low flows here that are looking pretty nice this morning. TAD and MRIN both very strong right now. TAD is up 67%. Was up 70, now coming down a little bit there. So we have two really good low floats. Our secondary list is okay. Let's go through it again. AMC, you know, I'm gonna remove AMC today, guys. I'm sure somebody else is going to watch this. I just want to make this list a little bit smaller, fine tune it more for this Friday as well. POTR is good. XBEV is really good. DD is good. ALEC is good. That's starting to look very nice. See, I was concerned earlier here when it was just kind of chopping around. I thought it was probably will come down here, but it is holding up nicely. And now it's making new highs. Volume is there. Now it's looking very exciting, actually. And this one is okay. All right. All right, let's start doing some levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 tickers here. I think that's more than enough for today. NEO, yep, that looks pretty good. All right, let's start with space. Space levels. High of the pre-market is 59. Where is that? Right up here. 59.33. So we'll throw a level there. And then towards the bottom, guys, we do have a level here, 52.17 and 32 area. Nice level of support that we're seeing here on space as we're up 23%. Just a little bit of a sell-off here, but this stock is very strong today. We'll see where it goes from there. Towards the bottom, guys, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got to pretty much cover. Towards the top, we're sitting all-time highs? No, we are not. We are shy of it. All-time high sitting at 62.88, and we do have an area right in here as well, guys. That is going to be around 60. So I'm going to throw a level there as well. So looking pretty good there. This morning in here in the pre-market itself, we do have some areas of support and resistance right on here. I'm going to mark this down. This 55.38, guys, is worth noting on there. You see a lot of touches in the pre-market here on this 5-minute. So you have resistance right over here, some more resistance. Then you got the drop here. So yeah, this 55.38, you want to throw that on there as well. If you go to the daily, right after putting that down there, you can see here got a couple of days also opening and closing right around that area as well. So definitely want to have that level on your list. I think that could be interesting today. Here is Tesla. Tesla this morning. Again, I think it can be interesting. Their daily looks very nice here, which is kind of chopping around here. Would love to see this breakout one way or the other. Your high of your pre-market all the way at 686.25. So we'll throw a level there. And then towards the bottom, guys, your low of your pre-market, pretty close to the lows from yesterday. So I'm not really going to mark that down. I think this level is good enough for you already. You don't need another level, you know, a couple of cents below. That's fine. Now this one all the way down here at 66.67. 49. I am going to mark that down, and then the next daily here over at 656. So let's see what it does here. We're just chopping here now as the volume is coming in. Let's see if we're going to find some kind of support here. We are making some higher lows here. Let's see what's going to happen. Are we going to bounce back, or are we going to start dropping on Tesla? LI this morning, very active. We're kind of stuck between the highs and lows of the last 2 trading days at the moment. Previous day close as well, sitting on here. I don't think you need to mark anything else on this. I think you're pretty good. High of the pre-market is pretty much next to the high of the day. So high of yesterday, so you don't really need that on there. And if we go over to the left, let's look outside of this range, right? If we can break outside of the highs and lows. Towards the bottom here, clearly a nice level over at 32.25. You can see the area of resistance and support coming in, and more resistance over here. So that is looking very good there as far as levels towards the bottom. If you want, you can even add one more down here. So another one on here as well over at 30.43. So towards the top, we do have this one here, 37.59. And I think that's pretty good. I don't think we need more than that for right now. Let's see. We're kind of stuck right now here, right in the middle of all this. Let's see where we want to go here. But their pre-market action, guys, looking very good. Going from red to green here in a nice pattern, and some good volume as well, up 1.1 right now. Let's see where we want to head with Lee. Here we go, NEO, guys. NEO looking very nice this morning. We do have a low of the pre-market, 49.90. And then towards the top, the high of the pre-market, we'll mark this down now, 51.50. We'll throw a level there as well. And then towards the top, guys, we do have the highs from the last 2 trading days right on here. So that's pretty much set for you. Let's see, do we have anything else mid? Anything in here? Let's go back to the left. Looks like this doesn't like to hang out around this gap here, right? Every time it loses this gap, it goes straight down to the next one, which is 51.44. doesn't really like to hang out in this area. You notice that this area is kind of pretty clean. So let's see here. We got 2 days on here hitting 52.72. So we'll put a level there. Just have a midpoint area. You got this day here and this day here. But notice this area, it seems to just want to always either be above it or below it. So we'll see what happens here. Right now looking pretty good, guys. 951,000 shares traded. Great daily, great volume. NEO looking very nice this morning. AMD at the moment continues to rip higher. As far as levels, I don't think we need to add anything in here. Highs and lows are pretty much covered by the highs and lows of yesterday. So that's all taken care of you there. But let's go over to the left and let's get some levels towards the top over here. And we are betting on this hitting 100 for next week. I know Brian is in on that too. 9584, and then up here we do have 9909. You gotta mark this here as well. Great area of resistance on these 4 days right on there. Could not break out of that. And then you see the nice little drop coming down here. So you got to put that on there as well as far as level. So I think we're pretty good on AMD, guys. Again, this stock just, as we've been mentioning, since the Google announcement here, it has been trading just incredible. High of the pre-market. Where is high of the pre-market? It's right here over at 93.88. Let's mark that. Let's see if we're stalling here a little bit. Let's see what happens. So we'll mark that high of the pre-market there. And we see where this goes. All right, here's Apple. Apple looking good right now. High of the pre-market, which might not stay there for long. 138.33. Let's slam a level there. Let's go over to the left here and see what do we have. So slightly above that, we got a couple of days here. We have this one here, 139.70. And outside of this, you really don't have anything all that clean. You have this, 141.90, and then obviously 144.35. So is that all-time high? Yeah, man, that is all-time high there for Apple. They are just crushing it right now, guys. It's incredible what we've seen over the last month or two. Just straight up to the northeast over here, trading very, 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 very nice. So Apple is good. Like to have that on my list. 931,000 shares traded at the moment. All right, that is what we have. Let's see here. Let's go over to... Guys, reminder, we are trading live today. Brian and Andrew will both be live, so make sure you hit that like button. Highly appreciate it. It does help us out a whole lot when you guys do that. Let's take a look at our moderators lineup. Let's bring this in. Let's go ahead and stop this video here. We'll find resize this and we'll bring this over. Here we go.
That having been said, we do need more likes for that, though.
Yeah, how many likes do we have?
270.
Oh,
272.
God. We're about to quit.
We got
the
almost.
Stream. Dude, what?
Yeah.
We're about to quit. Why are we doing this?
We got 600 people in here roughly. We need more.
Oh my God.
We can get more.
Well, we got to talk to Andrew. We
I have
talk to
faith.
Andrew. Oh man. All right. Okay, Peter, IPO for today, NYXH. Tiffany's looking at Tesla, Space, and ALEC, ALEC this morning. Thor is looking at NEO, XPEV, Lee, secondary list, Apple, BBY, Space. Peter's looking at AMD, Space, Tesla, secondary list, NEO, Apple, Emrin, and TATT as well. So 2 low flows there. That's what LF means, low flow. So be very, very careful. They're both very, very hot this morning. Brian coming in with his list. Space, NEO, CERE, ALEC, and also Emrin this morning continues on his rampage, man. Just so hot this morning. It is up 40% almost. So yeah, it's pushing some volume to 12 million shares traded. Eamon is looking at mRNA, PFE, secondary list, CAN, QS. Most probably will not trade today. mRNA setup won't set up. Okay, all right. So we'll see what happens there for Eamon. And that is what we have so far for this Friday. Let's take a look. I just want to run through our secondary list really quick. See if there's anything that looks good. POTR is moving. XBEV is good. I have NEO up here, so I'll keep NEO and Lee. And I also have Tesla. I mean, EVs are all over this list today. DD here is good. We'll see where that goes. We do not have shares for sure. I just noticed that. So that kind of sucks there. ALEC, guys, this thing continues to take off here. 55% right now. Almost 1 million shares traded. I didn't like it earlier on here. Now that we're breaking out, this thing is looking very, very nice. CERE, I don't like this one. I'm going to just take it off. I think it's just taking up space. And then that's it. TAT and Emrin. We are... not a bad list for a Friday, guys. Not a bad list for a Friday before a holiday weekend. So just keep that in mind. We expect volume today to drop very, very fast. So just keep that in mind. If you see things not trading the way you normally would like them to, the volume is not there, if your setup is not showing up, do not force anything, guys. We're going into a holiday weekend. I expect most traders will be done very early, so volume will definitely drop. So just be mindful of that, right? Don't force anything today on a Friday, going into a holiday. All right. So Brian is up next. We have Andrew as well. And I think we're pretty much set here, guys. We'll wait for them to hop on. Do not leave yet as we do the transition over to those guys. Just a reminder.
Yeah, takes a minute sometimes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll have live trading here in just a minute. Hang on. Be patient.
Yeah. As you're waiting, take the time to hit that thumbs up. We really, really appreciate it, guys. We have quite a bit of viewers there on YouTube. If we can get to, we always like to shoot for 5. 5 is a great number. So if we can get to that, we highly, highly appreciate it. And again, guys, that 2 seconds you do to do that helps us out a whole lot here to grow this channel. So thank you very much. All right, what else do we have here? Another shout out to Jarad, man, coming in with the amazing super chat for Thor's birthday. So thank you for that. So what, he left the room, went to YouTube, and came back. So
yeah,
I appreciate you, man, very, very much. So we have Brian on the mic. Brian, how you doing? Good morning.
I got to hop off, guys.
Carlos,
hey, good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Norm, and your dog in the background there.
I got a thunderstorm about to pass through, and the dog's going crazy. So you guys have a wonderful 4th of July, and as was said in the room, don't lose any fingers. Come with all of them. However many you have today, come with that many Tuesday. And
is that a joke for Giants fans? We oh man, we get hit with that all the time.
Oh. All right, guys, I'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great day.
All right, take care.
Cheers. Have a good long weekend, Norm. Happy 4th. All right. Well, as Carlos and Norm said, just be aware this is Friday going into a 4th of July long weekend. So, yeah. So volume will probably dry up after the first hour or so. What else is going on? XLE, XLF, neither one is really doing much right now. The Qs are the one that's the QQQ, and NASDAQ's the one that's up the most. NVIDIA is again on a tear today. Square and PayPal looking interesting. I can look at Wave. So the problem with that I've got with this new way that we're broadcasting here, unfortunately, I can't hear. When someone messages me in the room, I can hear like an alert or whatever. I know to look over. When you message me now, I can't. I don't hear anything, unfortunately, but that's just the way things are. So let's look at Wave. If I don't see something you're messaging me, I'm not ignoring you. Krispy Kreme, yeah, donut. What is it? D-nut? Donuts are all the rage, apparently. Oh, did my audio go out?
No, you're good now. We just had to reset the audio bridge.
Oh, okay.
But you're
okay, I'm back.
Good.
I'm back, baby. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say what Wave is going to do. I mean, we don't have any, there's no history on Wave, obviously. No price levels that we can reference. So, I mean, it does, it is trading above the VWAP. We've got some decent volume on it. It might be worth watching if you wanted to trade it. The time and sales is actually pretty good. Space, what's going on with Space? Why is it up again? Is it, was there some news? Join us July 11th for our fully crewed rocket-powered test. Okay. Branson going to space before Bezos. It's the race of the billionaires, right? Krispy Kreme is down on the day right now. It's just trading around the VWAP. Don't really see anything there. Yeah, the new billionaire hobby. What did the ride where didn't they auction off a ride to the one of the first rides? Was it like 23 million or something? Yeah, it used to be sports teams, that's right. Yeah, D-nut. Donut. It's like donut without the O. SPY is breaking out here to a new, probably what amounts to a new high. Facebook's looking interesting. Interesting. Tesla's in the red. All the Chinese stocks are in the red. Billy, Baba, Baidu, KWeb, which is an ETF, Chinese internet stocks, and JD. I'd be watching, watch JD. Just going to keep an eye on it because it seems to be the only Chinese stock that actually is doing. Yeah, exactly. It's funny, actually. Donuts are big. I don't know. Not really sure why, but yeah, we're. I've got a sort of part owner of a coffee shop. We brought some guy in, and we're making and selling donuts now. Specialty ones like margarita donuts. And pralines and cream. Let's look at TAL. Yeah, I know. Well, every time I go out there, I have to have one, which is, yeah, oh, donuts. So I'm just going to get my my screen set up here. I'm just going to decide what I'm really going to focus on here. Berlin has been kind of warming up a bit here too. Okay, so can you believe MRIN? It's just it's amazing how much this thing gaps. Pretty much for the whole week. It's just every morning it's gapped. Wednesday had a really ugly gap down. Yeah, it's pretty extended. I'm not going to be jumping in on MRUN, that's for sure. I was kind of looking at ARWR, but the spread on it is like almost $1. So I really, it's not tradable. CERE is looking like it might be a rising devil trade. Okay, so CRE has done a secondary offering, 25 a share. That's why it's gapping down here a bit. Alec is coming back to the VWAP. Neo looks strong. I'm not sure what Space is going to do. Space is gapping up, but it's below the VWAP. Makes me think it's probably going to sell off. But we have to wait for price action here. So we got 3 minutes left. I don't know. Well, it's still above the VWAP. That's the only thing about Alec. 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to the open. Right now, CERE is most interesting to me right now. Alec has lost the VWAP. That's interesting. Shares for short. Yeah. All right, minute and a half. Yep, here we're getting ready. Jarad, if you want to jump on, I don't think Andrew is going to be joining us this morning, or one of the other mods. AMC. I haven't been watching AMC. Yeah, maybe I'll watch it. I'm kind of looking at ORF too. I've got ORF over here. It's looking kind of weak. Maybe I should buy it. Thanks, Thor. Okay, guys, here we go. Get ready. We got 20 seconds. Looking at space. Looking at there he is. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning.
All right. Getting ready to rock and roll. Emran, watch for a pop at the open and then a
Ding,
drop.
ding, ding.
Yeah, here we go. Nothing yet. Emran's still creeping up here. It's kind of nervous about chasing it. Okay, I'm short CERE 2544. Emran's going. Guy. Let's see here. Still sitting on CERE. See if we can lose a level here. Lose this 30 level. SPY selling. Blin's taking off too. Just got along some MRN, MRN as well through 24. See if we can get to 25. I hate the fact that I'm kind of chasing it, but it's going to sell some MRN here.
I'm still not in anything yet, just waiting for something to set up. I'm a little limited on screens with my laptop as far as what I can see, so it's hard for me just to jump in as quick.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm looking at NEO right now. It's very interesting the way it's holding this like R2 level, good volume here. If it loses it, might be a key spot. We'll see.
I'm thinking of getting out of CRE unless it starts to roll over here soon. I'm out of it. I think it's going to pop. So that was a flat trade.
All right, let's see here. I got a short going on Neo.
Yeah, I was going to say Neo's rolling over here.
First cover there. Very nice.
Yeah, nice. Still sitting with some Emrin. See if we can get back. Space sold off. I kind of figured it might do that. That news wasn't that impressive. But again, heavy short interest on space. Oh, now CRE is going to roll over. Neo, yeah, your Neo trade's working out.
Yeah, I'm in from around like 61. Was that 51? 51.20. So nice spot. Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, nice.
A little more out at the daily level here.
Emran's coming back up here. See if we can get to 25 this time.
All right, there we go.
Nice. It's going to come. It's coming down to yesterday's low. You might find some support right there on Neo.
Nice little happy birthday Neo short.
Yeah. Just taking some more Emrin off here. It's kind of volume's already dropping off on it. I just don't like the way it's trading. Blinn is looking interesting. Just watching Emrin right now. Just like I said, I'm not really crazy about price actions. I think I'm actually going to get out of it. I am out of it.
I might do something similar on Neo. If it comes back through VWAP and reclaims yesterday's close, I'll probably dump the rest of my position there.
Well, that's exactly where, that's exactly where where it bounced, where Neo bounced right off that level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Space is squeezing. Yeah, I think Emran's looking a little on the weak side here. See what space does here. I'm just kind of watching it now. It's right at the VWAP. I don't want to take it long.
All right, I actually am going to try and add into my Neo short here just on the low volume pushback towards VWAP. Looks kind of like a pullback, so I'm going to add in here. New stop loss is the loss of the 9 EMA, so 60 or 50.81, and I'm out. looking for, I don't know, back down to 60-20s, somewhere in there.
Just got long a little space here through 54. See if we can get through 54. And glad I got out of MRIN. It just looked like a little bit tired there. It might be good for another run, but I'm just gonna see what happens. Okay,
Space
so here we
really
go.
rallying.
54. Yep. So selling some here. 54.20, 54.15 filled.
Nice trade on space there, Steve and Franco.
Yeah, nice
Very
one.
nice. Way to grab the bottom on that thing. Look at that S right off of S3 too. I should have been watching it.
Yeah, it held S3. That seemed to be the area where it had where it had the what do you call it? I'm blanking now. Anyway, that's definitely where support was. SPY selling off a bit. Neo's trying to decide what to do.
All right. There we go. Come on. Can't believe I'm actually still in this position. My stop was 50.81. Thing came back up to 50.78.
Okay, I'm flat on everything right now. Don't have anything. Trade on. Oh, look at CRE. You bugger. You just wanted to stop me out. That's the flush I was looking for there on CRE.
Oh yeah, that wasn't very nice.
That wasn't nice of it, no.
That wasn't nice at all.
Oh well.
Yeah.
C'est la vie. It happens. Chang, did you actually catch that one? Oh, you were trading Neo with Thor. S2 and S3 Duhads. Those are Camarillo pivot levels.
Oh yeah, very nice thing. So that's definitely the closest I've ever been to Wall Street and traded. I was hoping my my trade speed would be better since I'm like right here.
Yeah, they're probably
I have
you
to admit,
through.
the whole drive I was just like dumbfounded, because it took me a day and a half, basically 2 days to drive here, and the whole time I'm thinking I trade in milliseconds, and it's taking me days to drive this. I mean, it really is a marvel.
Nice, nice trade on NVIDIA. Chris, way to go. Yeah, a bit of a squeeze on space there. SPY is selling off. Qs are kind of choppy. Yeah, I suspect it's going to be a bit of a choppy day here. Once we get, there we go. Wow. Space is really now losing it.
Partial on Neo at 50.20. Finally, I've been just waiting after the ad. Groovy.
Nice. Yeah, nice breakdown there.
Thanks, Yannick. Check this out, y'all. This is what I'm up to right now. Get you a little screenshot.
Space is looking almost tempted to take a short. Be too late. Made a little late trade. Emran's really rolling over.
Oh, there we go.
Space trying to hang on to that level again. Hey, nice flush on Neo.
Doing all that, and then you get this. I don't know if you guys can see the background here. Look at this.
Wow, nice. NYC. Just shorted some space at 51.40.
Concrete jungle. Look at this thing.
Space. Here we go, space. Give it to me. Give me some lovin'.
Come on, space.
Okay, I'm going to cover some here at 50.90. See if it gives up this level. If it goes back above the VWAP too much, I'll get out. There's S3 level here and an S2 level. Alec is breaking out here. That was a nice little fallen angel on Alec, although I didn't like the way it was weak into the open. Okay, what are you going to do, space? Tempted to cover the rest here. I'm going to cover the rest. Okay, I'm out of space. That was, I think it might squeeze back again. Okay, so no position right now.
Bid's really starting to load up on space. It might actually still go down.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah, there it goes.
It's like really heavy ladder.
I was afraid it was going to double bottom on that off that level.
I can see why
again.
you would be. I mean, there was a real. At first, I was thinking what you thought because I was just looking at definitely a massive value area, like around 61, 35, 38. And
Exactly.
I think it still may bounce, actually. I just think it had to sell down to these larger bids first, maybe. But you can tell even now it's doing its best to try and resist just dumping.
Right. Thing about trading space, it's heavily shorted. I don't know what the short interest is on right now, but it makes it, makes it trade a little bit stranger. Like that pop at the open you got, that was, a short squeeze for sure.
Yeah, short interest on DOS, which isn't always 100% right, but it's still at over 20% in DOS.
Yeah. So heavily shorted, was coming down, now pop back up again. Emran's, I think Emran's done.
What did Neo sell off to? Is that pre-market low we're sitting at now, I think, on Neo? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
All right. So this will be interesting to watch here.
It's well, yeah. I don't know where you see that on DAS. I know if maybe Thor, you were talking about trade ideas where you find the short interest.
DOS has a fundamentals window.
Oh, okay.
If you go to, let me find it. I believe it is, I think it's under quotes. If you go to quotes and at the very bottom it says fundamental, that'll bring up a blank window, and if you drag the anchor from your montage over to the fundamentals window, it'll anchor any ticker that you're looking at on your montage and show you the basic ones. Now, I'm telling you this because Andrew's not here. Andrew doesn't like the F word, so if he was here, I wouldn't be able to talk about this at the moment. But just kidding. But it's handy. I think there's a package requirement, so it may actually not work in Sim, depending on your package and maybe some data subscriptions. But it's certainly helpful just for a quick look, especially now that Wall Street Bets is always honed in on short interest. You see something like really going, and you're like, "Oh, there we go." You know, what do you got going on?
I'm just looking. I've got some calls on Oracle, and I'm just looking at Oracle right now. It's like it's like ripping.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm up
You
like
got calls, not
1,000.
puts, though,
Yeah.
right?
No, we got calls.
Okay then.
Yeah, awesome.
Look at that thing
Didn't
go!
even.
It's straight green candles.
Yeah, I know. Well, I like the way it was setting up yesterday on a daily. Oh, look at Alec pop. Jeez. What the heck?
Oh yeah, look at
Yeah,
that. I like
yeah, I
that on
like
the
the.
daily. You can see it. It broke out that consolidation range.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
to the top side. That's why you're the prophet of profit, my friend. That's
There
good
you
stuff.
go. Yeah, I'd like to read on it.
Yeah, that's real nice.
Yeah, gap fill on Oracle exactly. Yeah, that's where I thought it was going. So Alec looks like it might want to go to 40 here. It's got some liquidity above it. Man, that has been after that sell-off. Just long a little bit, Alec, just to see if we can get through 40. Space is squeezing back here. Bit of a false breakdown on space. Okay, taking some off here on Alec. Here we go. Let's get through 40. Come on. Big ask at 40.
I'm going to add some more into my Neo short here at the new 1 minute low after this hammer underneath the daily level. New stop is the loss of the daily level. So if we lose 60 or 50.35, will be my new stop out. New target looking for like 49.50 or something like that.
I took some more Alec off. 39.90. So I just got a little bit left here. The rest of it, I'm red on the remaining amount right now. Hopefully, it's going to come back up here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's really trading erratically. We did print 40. Yeah, I'm getting out of the rest of it. Drag. Amrin's coming back up again. I'm just looking through some stuff here. I'm just seeing if there's something else to trade. Space again dropping. It's trading really crazy, but again, that's kind of explained why that happens. Why it's happening.
That's space.
Yeah. Feels like it wants to drop. Here we go.
Yeah. It had that like real big jump that it did, like, back on the 25th when the FAA clearance came out for that thing. But ever since then, it's surprisingly just stalled.
Yeah. Well, I think that news just drove people to, it just squeezed the heck out of people here. So,
big squeeze, and now it's like no one's like really like super. I think most people were kind of expecting it, so I think most of the people who are in are already in.
Yeah, well, I think that was kind of knew that news anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Geez, there goes now Alec just blasted off through 40. Wow, now it's going for 42. Crazy.
All right, here we go, Neo.
All right, there goes space.
There we go. Little out space. Neo.
Yeah, I'm
just lightning bolting this thing all the way down.
Yeah. We shorted space. I think it's going to go down to through 49 here.
Man, I haven't gotten a good trend runner for such a long time. This is great.
Yeah, Neo's been a real dog here. Just came back up. Excuse me. You had a really nice. You had that consolidation that took it right back to the 9 moving average, and then on the 2-minute chart, and then it rejected right from there.
Exactly. I added on the new on the new 1 minute low after I did that.
Nice.
And then I just used the daily level right above it as stop. So I mean, that was really pretty sweet. There's the trade if anyone wants to see it, and it's still in progress.
Just covering some here through 40, 49, 48, 96 on space.
Well, Brian, it's about 10 o'clock, so I think I'm going to call it a day on this trade. Got me a nice little one and done on Neo. So not gonna fight that. Up quite up about 4 or 5 R on the day. So pretty happy about that. So I think I'm gonna go get my NYC on.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a great birthday. When is the meetup? Remind everyone again here.
So the meetup is tomorrow, and that is it starts around 5:30. It's at the Three Monkeys Bar, which I can actually see out my window, which is pretty sweet. No need to hold back while I'm there, because all I gotta do is walk across the street. Am I right?
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna have fun. The whole BBT family there. I know we have at least 100 to 110 that are confirmed. And my wife's going to be there. It's going to be an absolute blast. So everyone is going to be there. I can't wait to
Nice.
see you. And otherwise, I'll see everybody next week. Keep it green, y'all. Thanks, Brian,
Yeah.
as always, brother.
Okay. Buddy, have a happy birthday. Have a good time in New York. And thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one, brother.
Always fun trading with the Thor.
Always fun trading with the prophet. That's for sure.
Okay. All
All
right.
right, brother.
Have a good one. Cheers. Okay, well, Alec was a bit of a surprise, I would say. I just the way it was trading in the pre-market, I really didn't think it was going to squeeze the way it did there. So I'm pretty much flat on everything right now. So Emrin is not going to perform today. Blend is dog's breakfast as it has been. Getting a bit of a bounce on Neo right now. Wow, JD is starting to sell off here too. Baba's selling off. XLE and XLF selling off. The IWM has actually gone red on the day. Apple's on a tear, eh? I'm waiting for a pullback on AMD, maybe to try to get in back in around 92. Yeah, one and done. Amy, that's the way you like it. Just one good trade. You don't need to fill your order box with all sorts of trades, that's for sure. Steve, what'd you do? AMD, nice bounce, double bottom there. Beautiful. That's the way you trade a double bottom. Right on. Took some off at the VWAP. John, way to go. Yeah, you just space. You just had to stay through that squeeze. Again, it was just squeeze right back up to that S1 level. Neo may be trying to find some support here at this fair value, 49.50. Oh, we had a lot of good trades today here, guys. CERE, nice. Nice. So you actually stuck with that. Kind of felt like it was going to squeeze. I don't know why. Yeah, Alex dropping. But yeah, congrats on that one. Okay. Yeah, it did set up really nice. I think, I thought CERE, and plus it Having that secondary done at 25, usually it drops below. Neo, where is the... I don't see any big bid down there, but it definitely looks weak. Karen, what did you do here? Oh, nice. Sure, you joined Thor with the Neo trade. Nice one. Good trading, everybody. Friday. Good way to end the week. Neo looks like it actually might go down to 40. 49, I should say. Still looks a little on the weak side.
Hello, Brian.
Hey, Peter.
I wasn't sure if this would work. I was sneaking
Happy
in to say
Canada
hi.
Day.
Yeah.
Did you have a good holiday?
I did. Great Canada Day. Went kayaking, spent the day on the lake. It's fantastic.
Nice. And you traded AMD at the open?
I did not. Actually, I traded CERE on your
Okay.
recommendation. That's why I wanted to join and just thank you for calling that out, because I held and
Okay.
Actually added when it hit VWAP because it looked like a good bounce point, and I got some great partials all the way down. I'm sort of one and done. I just got caught on a really nasty spike right up to my break even. Like, look at this. This is just mean. And of course now it's back down to where I was taking my partials. But I guess that's market makers out to get me today.
Yeah. No, that the CRE trade, I was. I don't know why I decided to bail on that. I really shouldn't have. This was a classic Rising Devil trade where it just where you pop up to the VWAP and then reject from there. So it was not.
It seemed like it was still within the bounds. It was within my risk because I put my risk up at the 50 moving average, which is up above VWAP, and just using the trade I learned from you. So anyway,
there you go. Right out of the trade book. Nice. Well, Peter, good way to end your week. One good trade.
Yeah, exactly. So I might take something if I see something good, but AMD's just moving sideways, just resting on the VWAP. It looks pretty tired right now, but we'll see. Maybe it'll get some energy. Space, I really want to trade space, but it's quite erratic. It's moving these dollar chunks, especially to the downside. It'll drop $1 and then claw its way back up and then drop again.
Yeah. Now it's kind of flatlining. 9 moving average is kind of flattening out. This is you could get squeezes here. So, but again, it's popping up a bit. It's actually gone. Space has actually gone through the 9 moving average. It's trying anyway. So it might get there might be another squeeze in that. Same with Neo. Neo's kind of flattening out here.
Yeah.
So we're probably, we're half hour into the trading day. This is kind of, like I said, like we've been saying, it's Friday before a long weekend, July 4th, big holiday in the U.S. Probably going to have some more sideways choppy action. Not to say that there won't be some opportunities, but...
Yeah, you're exactly right. Expect volume to be lower, and that will make the price action less predictable. So just keep that in mind for any trade that you're taking.
Oh, I didn't see you on there. Yeah, you're actually on screen. Nice.
Oh, look at that. Hey, there I am. Hello, everybody. I wasn't
so you didn't know
earlier.
that?
No, well, I wasn't on screen earlier. It was just Thor's frozen face. So
yeah, exactly.
I've now been I've usurped him.
Yeah.
Have my Canada Day shirt.
Aha.
So yeah,
Oh,
thanks
yeah, there
everybody
you go.
who joined us on YouTube. We really appreciate you joining us. Give us the old thumbs up if you like what you're seeing and hearing. We appreciate you trading with us this morning.
I'm not seeing anything I'm too crazy about trading at this point.
Whoa. Matt from YouTube is trading AMC, and it just dropped $2.
I haven't looked at AMC for quite a while. Oh,
yeah,
wow, look at it.
Swan dive there.
Yeah, no kidding. It really just broke down there. Yeah, nice trade on that if you caught that over 50.
Yeah, Jarad.
AMC. Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Jarad was saying in the chat this morning he was waiting for it to break through some levels, some daily levels he had marked, and it's certainly doing that. So, Jarad, maybe you need to let us know where you think this is going to stop. Wow, look at the volume here, though. AMC's got some big volume down at this level. Not seeing a lot on the level 2. Maybe this is a bounce point. Hard to tell.
AMC, I mean, it looks like on a daily, maybe it looks like 45, 44 might be an area.
Yeah, I've got a level of 40, 46 that I'm keeping an eye on. But yeah, there's a lot of room, isn't there, to the downside?
Yeah. There was a pullback on June 10th where we dropped down, closed at 40, call it 43, and then opened the next day at 44.70. So yeah, somewhere around that level is probably the area where there could be some support.
48.12. June the 9th, 48.12 was the low. It's another place to keep an eye on. Why can't I mark that exactly?
I just see if I can do some Fibonacci levels here.
Wow.
See where maybe there's something there.
Wow. Joy.
Yeah.
Wow. If you're short AMC, you should be happy now.
Oh, wow.
You're loving it.
Yeah, space is rolling over again here. Again, couldn't get through the 9 moving average, was using that as, looked like I used that as resistance. And rolled over again.
Oh, AMD. Picking up here.
Wow. Well, if Emrand finishes red on the day, this may be kind of after this. This whole week has been an Emrand. Emrand's been in play, so
MRIN-apalooza.
Yeah, it has been.
Space is bouncing here again off of 49.
Yeah, Brian, keep it going. And Neo, hopefully, Karen, you still have some.
I'm going to try a little bit of a long here on space, see if we can get a little bit of a pop up.
maybe it's really got to get through this 9 moving average, which is right around 50. So maybe you can get through 50 here. We get a squeeze
Taking a
back.
partial on
Nice
space.
It's no big ask at 50, although it looks like it's gonna try to get there.
I don't want to. This thing can move fast to the downside. So I'm in at 49.50. So if it comes back to 49.50, I'll be out. Otherwise, let's see what we can do here. Yeah, like that.
Well, there you go. Squeeze back up.
Yeah, I'm out. I don't want to risk this thing really moving against me. Yeah, there you go. Is it going to drop or is it going to find support here? I didn't have a great entry on it. Well, I got $1 almost.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that was a nice one.
Not quite. I got 60 cents on my best partial. Oh well, a little bit
You'll
more
take
for
that.
the kitty. And if you guys know my system, I move one of my coins to the win pile. Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, AMD.
I am really not in AMD right now.
Yeah, that was bit of a crazy open. AMD sold off, put in a double bottom, and then came back up.
Yeah, there's one downside, guys, to the way we're doing this right now. Unfortunately, Brian and I can't hear when we are pinged in the room because fortunately we don't get that. So it's tougher for us to know when someone's yelling at us. Which is a shame because I'm used to throwing all sorts of snide comments at you in the morning, Brian, and you don't see them anymore.
No, exactly. Yeah, like I was mentioning this morning, guys. It just that's one thing we don't get is the notifications. So it's not that we're ignoring you. It's it's always a matter of focus and where you happen to be looking. Yeah, there goes space again. Space is just dropping.
It's weird to see space dropping. You'd think with space about to actually do what its name says, that would be a good thing.
You would think so.
I'm hoping when space is in space, whenever that happens, 2 weeks from now, that it should be literally popping and the stock price should be popping, right?
Well, yeah, you could argue that it's, again, sell the news event, right?
Yeah.
It is still, you're right, it is still up 14% here, so.
Niffler, I've got to believe that, yes, that's always a possibility. Space travel is still in its exploration phase, so it could very well have a terrible, tragic accident, but I think it's relatively unlikely. But I don't know. Knock on wood. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hope nothing untoward happens.
Yeah, Brian, that's a good point too. They have hyped it for so long. It could be that, well, like the other Brian just said, sell the news, right? Like, as you said, this is what happens. We've been talking about it so long. It's already baked in. And the thing, I always think, to me, the ultimate example was always these pot stocks, right? Pot stocks were soaring until Canada, being one of the first major countries to legalize it, all our pot stocks were soaring. But the day it legalized, which was actually Canada Day, wasn't it? A July, like 2 years ago?
I think so, yeah.
Anyways, but everything started to drop from that point and continued to drop for, well, pretty much till now. So yeah, it's really, the promise was never, the reality is never as good as the promise, is it? So.
Well, it's like, it's like when Apple's, was running up into the split. and then the split happened, and right away Apple sold off pretty hard right after that. So, and it's like, when Apple has these Apple days when they do a new release on a product, I mean, there's always a big run up of the stock into the release, and then then the release happens and the stock sells off. So
All right, so people are looking at AMD. I see it. I actually thought it wasn't going anywhere. So my read on AMD, this has been fascinating for me, guys, on AMD. Every single day that it's been in play, I've struggled to trade it. It's been really odd. So, when it's not in play, that seems to be when I'm comfortable with it. So when it's in play, I still haven't got the read on it. So if you caught this, great. I am not in AMD.
yeah, that double bottom it made at the at 940 was the place to get into it. Could have had about $2 on that move.
The VWAP is the place to be. Green trading is the life for me.
Exactly, yeah.
You think AMC through 95, Nate? Well, we'll see. Certainly at a high of day and a high. Well, I think it's a high for the year. Is it? Not quite. Not quite yet. That'll be 96. It did spike up just in January. Oh no, it was in January that it was up here and almost broke 100. Yeah, this has been a 6-month wait for me for AMD. So I hope it goes. What I'd really like, ideally, would be for AMD to get a nice big pullback with a mountain pass at the bottom that I could get into, and then let's ride it up $6 to 100. I may not get what I want. The one move that has been working for me on AMD is when we find areas with these big asks. When I wait for it to break the ask, then I've been going short and taking the pullback. But you got to be careful on those. Like right now, 94.50. Usually I've done it always on whole dollars, and it's usually been way above the pivot ranges. Right now we're only approaching R2 because of the big day it had yesterday. So I don't know if it's necessarily ready for that move yet. And I see some asks above 94.50. So just be cautious, guys, depending what you're doing. I'd be personally, I don't know that it's ready to short in a reverse. Like I'm seeing a lot of orders at 95, 180,000 shares right now sitting there. So I don't know that I want to trade against that. Watching space here too. God, you're right, Brian.
Yeah.
I might have got lucky on that little pop because it is just chopping.
Yeah. Well, the 9 moving average is kind of flattened out here, so it might continue to trend lower, but we are getting into some chop here. I'm kind of looking at NEO. I was thinking about taking a long here on NEO.
AMC just hit your 9 moving average on the 2-minute chart on this pullback. We'll see if it the 20 and the VWAP are pretty close. See what AMC does. And NEO.
NEO is kind of flattening out here.
Yeah, I haven't looked at Tesla. What's Tesla done today? Tesla's still green on the day.
Still watching NEO here. Just I'm going to see if it holds this level. Holds this 49-ish level.
Curtis, just for you, we can do an early poll. Guys, normally in the afternoons we do a poll. I like you to tell me how your day's going. whether you're live or sim. Is it a green or red day? So let's send it out. As I typically say, it's usually the people that are green that ask for the poll. So Curtis,
Yeah, I'm long Neo at 49. It was holding there, so let's see what it.
Brian.
See if we can get move back up here.
All right, I'm going to join you in that.
It's still using the 9 moving average as resistance, but I'm hoping we can kind of get a pop through here. Risking about 10 cents.
All right, some good responses, guys. Keep it up. Give you another couple of seconds here.
Gonna sell some here, 49.20.
Take a quick partial as well, Brian.
Yeah.
Try to manage the trade and my survey at the same time.
There you go.
Maybe I got to put this thing on auto. There you go. Let's get the pop. Come on, Neo.
Okay, all right. There we go. Selling some more, 49.33.
Okay, partial for me on Neo. I'm just doing what Brian says. All right, there's our poll. Wow, look at that. A full 40% of you are trading live and are green this morning. That's fantastic to see. Our ratio seems to always be 2-to-1, those that are green live versus red. So if you're red, but don't worry, that means you got a lot of companies still. 17% of you are not having their best day there. And in sim, we've got 24% green and 10% red. So normally that's about 50, like even. So here we've got, again, a little over a 2-to-1. Thanks for responding to the poll. It's good to see how people are doing. Whether you're green or red, know that you're definitely not alone.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look. I was busy doing so many things here, Brian. I was worried about my Neo trade. I forgot to take a peek, but.
All right. Just gonna sell some more here. 49.48. Oof, very nice pop through 50.
49.50 and selling. Okay.
All right. Who took anybody take that trade with us here in the room?
That's another
nice,
one.
Nice, guys. Awesome.
Thor might be onto something here. The profit of profit is good to trade with.
Nice, guys. Well, good. Everybody's a winner, as they say at the carnival.
Everybody's a winner. Step right up. Nobody's going home empty-handed. Space continues to chop. AMD continues to push. So, like I said, guys, doesn't look like AMD was ready yet for a pullback. So, good idea to wait on that. Let me just check out AMD here. Yeah, look at that. 220,000 shares sitting at 95 right now. Just
AMD is killing it. Yeah, that was a big bounce. I think Jared's been trading. Been trading AMC, and that's a nice little bounce we got there. Okay, have a good one, Jared. Jared's signing off. He's preparing for the mentorship at 11 Eastern. So he'll be talking to everyone in the mentorship room later.
Maybe it's time we need to sign off on YouTube. We really appreciate everybody joining us out there on YouTube and trading live with us. Hopefully enjoyed what you saw. If you did, consider joining us in the room. You can either join as a full member. We do have a trial membership, and we promise, there's no pressure. If you want to join, it's great. Use the code premarket24 for a $24 1-week trial. It just gives you a feel, right? Like, what's it like to trade in the room? Is it adding value to trading? We firmly believe it will, but it's not necessarily for everybody. But we'd love to see you. And if you do join us, then say hi in the room so that we can acknowledge you. If you do want to join as an elite member, which gives you access to all of our training material, all of our webinars, like we do at least three webinars a week. We do several mentorship classes, plus, of course, your live trading. There's a ton of material. Join us. Use the code FIREWORKS40 for 40% off that elite price. So, guys, that's my PR shtick. But hopefully, you'll consider joining us. Thanks so much. Brian, I'm going to sign off because I just had an invite to get free breakfast. So I'm going to go take that.
Absolutely. I'd be taking that too.
Yeah.
So guys, and on YouTube, have a great weekend. Again, the feed from YouTube is a little bit delayed. So that's the downside of watching us on YouTube. But as Peter said, come and join us in the room. It's a cheap opportunity to give us a shot here. So, all right, we are going to sign off and then I'll be back in the room in the regular chat area. Peter, have a great breakfast and a good weekend.
Thanks, Brian. You too. Have a good one.
Cheers. Okay.